And we are now just two more episodes to go on the road to WrestleMania, not counting the Rage Party, which we agreed to earlier today that we were going to do a watch along of. But obviously, there's not really any storyline advancement on the Rage Party. It's just a big party.
that we know of.
I mean, I think there's a little bit of like character stuff that goes
Look,
on, but not
look,
like any
the
big.
Undertaker show. The Undertaker shows up
Yeah, I know that.
and dances to chocolate salty balls and points to Vince McMahon.
Yes, the first ever reaction video between both you and I on this channel will be the WrestleMania Rage Party. We came up with that decision earlier when we did the March 8th review. And this today, what our next review is here is the March 15th, 1999 Raw. Again, we are just two Raws away from WrestleMania. Obviously, our next show will be the go home show to Mania 15. Then we will have that Rage Party watch along, reaction, whatever you want to call it. And then we go to WrestleMania 15. But again, road to WrestleMania 15 keeps rolling on here. Tro, I've already asked this question a couple hours ago, but Tro, how you doing?
What do you mean? We filmed this weeks apart. It's been 1 week. Merry Christmas. I am fine. You know, it's funny that I bring up Christmas because all week I've been trying to win you a Christmas present on fucking the radio.
The what?
I said I've been trying to win you a hell of a Christmas gift on the radio.
On the radio. Okay.
Yeah, because who's your favorite singer out there?
Oh.
Adam Levine, whatever her name is. The girl from Over the Hedge.
You're getting two Levines mixed up, but I definitely have an idea of what that would be. So
yeah, she's performing at MSG, and they're saying,
Yeah.
"Oh, we're giving away, we're gonna give away tickets." I'm like, "Oh, Frank would love that. He can he can go by himself because I ain't going."
Well, she was just at Jones Beach over the summer. It was a part of her greatest hits tour, and now she's rolling the greatest hits tour back again next year. And yeah, in May she will be at the Garden.
Yeah, imagine if she went to UBS.
That'd be cool. And she rocks a Islander sweater. Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Or she works a Ranger sweater. I'm like, Frank, you have to break up with this girl. You gotta move on. I'm sorry, Frank. She's a Ranger fan. There's no coming back from that one.
She's actually a fan of the team that destroyed the Islanders on the night of the Rage Party. Because you told me
she's a Senator fan.
Yeah, she's a Senator.
I wasn't looking. It was the TSN freaking feed.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You were looking through the TSN feed of the Rage Party.
They just put out good. It's like ESPN. It's like they put up the scores every now and again. Islanders lose 7-3.
Well, TSN is Canada's ESPN.
Yeah, but better because it's not controlled by Disney, so it's actually allowed to be good. Instead of having talking heads on the channel every single hour.
Yeah, so we are here at the. Oh, by the way, this is the episode. You know what I'm talking about, right? You did say this was going to be it because you said the last 2 weeks. But yes, this is the episode where we first see the Raw is JR mini announced.
we are.
Poor Hardcore Holly's going to take a bump into that mini announce table.
You see, I thought I was going crazy when I said someone takes a bump to that table. It turns out I was right.
Lawler actually spoiled it too. Like like sort of a Bobby Heenan situation where like during the middle of the match, Jerry Lawler's like, "What if somebody falls into that announce table?" And it literally happens like 5 minutes later. It was
The best,
WWE's version of, "Well, yeah, but whose side is he on?" Like 3 years later.
the best part is that announce table is real wood. It is real wood. They
Yikes!
cut they cut down a tree.
Right in the middle of the show.
They used William Regal, a real man's man, to cut down
Regal
cut
was
down a
back in
tree.
WCW at this point, right?
Probably.
I think he
Yeah, he,
was.
yeah, he must have because he was on Survivor Series '98, so by now
Yeah,
he probably would have been back in WCW.
right. That Survivor Series '98 is a show that me and Mohammed are planning on doing someday as a bonus episode of Positive Spin. We'll see if we ever get to that. I don't even know when episode 2 of
I
Positive
was about
Spin.
to say, you're already planning these special episodes. You have to get to episode 2.
We have I've come up with a couple of special bonus episodes for Positive Spin. Obviously, because of the night we came up, the night I came up and asked Mohammed if he wanted to be the guest host. The guest host I've been looking for like a year and a half. He was with us in one of our streams, and he talked about how he didn't enjoy something that happened on the post Survivor Series 2000 Raw episode. So
Yeah.
like, okay, that we have to do a bonus episode on that. So that was the first bonus episode, and then as we were shooting our first episode, I said I have another bonus episode we should do, Survivor Series '98. So those are the two bonus episodes that we have.
Yeah, we don't plan on bonus episodes here. They just kind of
Well,
happen sometimes.
well, we don't. We're not on a. Well, we are on a certain type. We're retro.
Yeah. If you want to
Retro.
get technical, we can review Heat.
Yeah, that would be a bonus episode. But when we reviewed one Heat episode, and it was thrown on to the episode that we were actually reviewing. So, but technically, if we're reviewing retro wrestling shows, even if it's a Heat episode, we're technically doing what the title of the show says we are doing.
Mm,
So it's not really a bonus episode. What and obviously the title that we have for the WCW reviews doesn't technically say we only review the Russo WCW episodes, but that's implied. The positive spin, meaning a positive spin on the Russo Ferrara era WCW. So that's why bonus episodes, exactly. like
bonus.
like I guess a bonus technically if
The
you
Rage Party.
yeah, the Rage Party would be a bonus episode. And I guess I was saying earlier, I don't even know if I said this on stream, but I said when I put up I might have been saying this to Christian actually. I said when I put up the Rage Party, it's not going to be FNC's Retro Wrestling Reviews. It won't be called that. It'll just be its own video. But I guess I can title it bonus episode.
Bonus.
There you go. So it will.
You gotta watch it for the lore. The lore of what we'll talk about at WrestleMania 15. I'm sure it'll play a major part of WrestleMania 15.
Christian was talking about how he hates the Rage Party. I don't understand why anybody would.
I'm sure we can find a lot of entertainment out of
There
that
is.
Rage Party.
I have not seen the Rage Party in years. I will say that. But
It's
I
gonna
enjoyed
be
it.
so 90s. It's gonna hurt. It's gonna retroactively make me 90s.
In 90s, it's more like 90s, early 2000s because it's 1999. Well,
Yeah, but
pretty
it's
much
not.
1999.
It's not quite 2000s yet.
No, I know that, but 1999 kind of borders on because, like, at that point, all the fashion stuff, all the especially like the Attitude Era. The Attitude Era was more like the attitude of people in the early 2000s. That's why I feel like
Yeah.
more of the fashion was getting centered towards the early 2000s. 90s,
Well,
99 is more like 90s, but also 2000s in a way. I mean, it's only literally a year away from to the year 2000, so it's not like everything changes once you hit 2000.
yeah, it does. The everything changes. The electronics will stop working in the year 2000, Frank. We all know this. Y2K.
Y2K. What are you selling? Chicken or sex jelly?
Oh my!
You
I mean, to be
watch,
fair,
you watch
we do.
Family Guy, right?
Of course,
Hey, yeah.
we. Of course, though, we speaking about things in 2000, we do have LOD on the show tonight.
LOD, yes, that is true. That
We
is
have
true.
LOD.
They look very different, but yes, they are on this show. They're not LOD 2000 though. I think they're more
No, no,
LOD.
Sonny's not with. Sonny's not with.
Oh well, there'd be a problem. There'd be a problem if Sonny was on the show because Sable's on the show too.
I'm pretty sure Sonny's in WCW at this point, probably. Or ECW, who knows? Who cares?
ECW probably.
I know where she is now.
Yeah, we won't be covering that part of her career.
Rotting inside a prison cell.
Yeah.
To be fair, if we ever wanted to review something Sunny, we should review the greatest episode of Shotgun Saturday Night ever.
Which one? The Penn State? I mean, Penn Station? Penn State.
Penn State. Oh no! I mean, given the context, of what happens in the episode that I'm going to talk about, that'd be a little weird.
Yeah, wow.
She has a sex tape with the Elmo.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about. Some of those early shotguns where they did them in these crazy, like I would like to review any of those. Like they do these nightclubs. They do like aforementioned Penn Station, not Penn State. They did one in some New York City sports bar or something like.
First of all, even doing it in Penn Station, you're setting up a fucking tree. You're setting up a whole ring and disrupting people's travels.
Yeah.
God damn it! I don't. I missed. I'm sorry, honey. I can't get home tonight. Why? Undertaker was blocking my entrance. He tombstoned this guy on the escalator, and it took 25 minutes to pick him up.
That is seriously an episode we need to cover. The Penn Station and the shotgun you mentioned as well. We can do that. Obviously, again, we are still at that point where we're not adding new episodes.
Yeah, no, it's just
that
stuff for us to remember later on.
Yeah, that doesn't mean we could be like, yeah, maybe sometime in the future. I can tell you right now that it won't be happening anytime soon, but one day we might go back to like. Remember when we were talking about those shotguns? Let's do a couple of those.
Yeah, quick fire episodes. Just cleanse the palate. Cleanse the palate after a few road twos.
Right. Yeah. Right. Well, I can tell you what. If I'm choosing, which right now it really looks like I'll be the one to choose. After
you'll be up next after Unforgiven.
And after Unforgiven 01, when I choose, it will be another road too. I can tell you that right now. Yeah, because I love doing this. You don't like doing this?
No, I do. I'm just saying, nice little quick little
No, I get what you're saying.
Palate cleansers.
Yeah. No, I get what you're saying. All right,
you one-offs here and there.
Yeah. No, nothing wrong with a couple one-offs. That's how we were doing one-offs for like 2 years before.
Yeah, until Bad Blood Vengeance happened.
Yeah, that one random day, and I say 2 years. You obviously weren't here. I've been here for almost 2 years.
I'm the workhorse.
Yeah. So that one random day after we did Bad Blood, I was like, you know what? Since we did Bad Blood, why don't we just keep it going? We do the Road to Vengeance 04. I was like, okay. And since then, that's literally all we've been doing is Road to pay-per-views.
Pretty much, yeah.
It's fun.
Yeah.
Well, we did do WrestleMania 17 in between, I believe.
Well, we had that on the back burner since that March.
Yeah, for a long time. All right, so March 15th, 1999. And by the way, we got to go back to the last episode earlier today. You brought up that he was already called the Big Show. He being Paul White. Uh, yeah, you were right. You were right because at the beginning of the show, they show a video package where Mr. McMahon actually says the Big Show Paul White. So it actually had happened. It probably happened like literally once because I had not heard. Maybe I just
Well,
maybe it just you just hear Big Show. Maybe I just hear Big Show and it's like it. Obviously, I expect him to be called Big Show, so it just goes over my head and I completely forget about it. But I felt like when watching all the shows that we have watched since Paul White debuted at St. Valentine's Day Massacre, I feel like maybe once he was called the Big Show Paul White before this episode. Now, on this episode, he's called the Big Show Paul White at least like 7 to 10 times. So, but yeah,
eventually he loses Paul White. He's a
eventually,
Big Show.
yeah. There's a whole generations of kids who don't even know who the hell Paul White is.
When I
And
first found that, when I first watched St. Valentine's Day Massacre in 07, I was like, oh my god, that's Big Show's real name, Paul White. What?
you actually saw St. Valentine's Day Massacre before I did.
Well, I had the 24/7. I mean,
Oh,
they,
see, yeah, I never had.
see, so,
I wish I
see,
did.
here's the thing about my experience of the Attitude Era. They were showing those old episodes of the early Attitude Era of like '97. So
Raw.
during my peak of loving professional wrestling, where I'd
Yeah.
watch these shows like fully nonstop 2 hours,
Yeah.
they were doing it. They would do a 1 week every month, every half month. Like first half of the month would be this week of Raw, then the next. They wouldn't show the pay-per-views, but I was able to be like, "Oh my god, really?
Yeah.
Crazy!"
I would have. Oh my gosh. I remember when WWE 24/7 first became the thing. I wish I had that, man. I was as a
You
kid.
call yourself a professional wrestling Attitude Era fan, and I watched it before you.
I okay, so here's some of the breakdowns for some of the years when I first saw them mostly. So remember Twitch used to be Justin TV. You remember that, right?
I the first time I remember seeing Twitch was literally and Call of Duty was asking me, "Do you want to link your Twitch account?" I'm like, "What the fuck is a Twitch?" I do,
So
but I have heard of it being called Justin TV.
Justin TV, yeah. So the reason why I know of the Justin TV days is because in the late 2000s, I was dying to see like 2003 to like rewatch 2003 Raws and SmackDowns, 2004 Raw and SmackDown, and I came across Justin TV and they were like streaming Raw episodes, SmackDown episodes. I was like, holy shit! Like from the early 2000s, and in the summer of 2010 somebody was doing a 24/7 stream of like the 2000 weekly shows with the pay-per-views. They were showing the heats too, and for a long time during the summer I'd be all up on those streams, man. And that was my introduction to 2000, probably my introduction of at least consistently watching Attitude Era shows. That's pretty much where it started. So 2 years later I was like, you know what, I want to watch the 1999 shows. It was in 2012, around the time that Lynn Sanity was going on too. I remember that very well. I was
Cisco
watching
Lindor.
not the original Lynn Sanity, the one you and I do not care about because we're not Knick fans. But uh, but in early 2012, I was watching the Raws of 1999 and the pay-per-views as well. And then as I got to the end of the year, I started watching the SmackDowns as well. And that was my introduction to 1999. And I was in love right away, man. And those 2000s as well. Like I said, it's one of the reasons why I remember the summer of 2010 so well, because I was having so much damn fun watching those 2000 shows. I think I was introduced to 2001 a little earlier. And 2001 for a long time was like my favorite year. Obviously, 2001 is only Attitude Era for like 3 months, but you know. That
But you
was
see, here's the thing about it being not being the Attitude Era. It's not really technically the Ruthless Aggression Era either.
no, it's not. It's and WWE had a title for it on the network for a very short time because this was obviously right before Peacock. Um, you remember the Ruthless Aggression documentaries, right? This came
Yeah.
out. They did these like right before the move to Peacock. So they had playlists for every episode of the Ruthless Aggression Era. And one of the, like, I guess it would have to be the first episode, was all about how they kind of transitioned into the Ruthless Aggression Era. And the playlist for that show was called Post Attitude, Pre Ruthless Aggression. And it was every pay per view from Backlash '01 to King of the Ring '02, which is why when people try to tell me 2001's Attitude, I'm like, no, it was not. And that playlist tells me all I need to
I
know.
feel like we need a better name for it though, because there's a lot of good stuff that happens during that era.
Yeah, it was such a short era though that you really can't name it. Like what are you gonna call it? The short era?
No, I was gonna say you could almost call it the Invasion Era, but the Invasion ends in November.
Mm.
Transitional period, I guess.
You can
No, here we go. Post-war era.
Ooh,
That's good because it's post Monday Night Wars, and then it transitions into Vince McMahon saying, "I want ruthless aggression."
Yeah, you don't know how many times I'm in Attitude Era groups, man, and obviously, as if that would surprise anybody. When I say groups, I mean Facebook groups.
No.
I've gotten into arguments over this shit, man. I swear, it's annoying how like motherfuckers will post something in these groups too from like 2004. I'm like, bro, like that's not Attitude Era. Like, what are you doing?
Eugene's my favorite person from the Attitude Era.
But like the most frustrating part is not even that, because like obviously that's not even the frustrating part. The frustrating part is when people try to say like 2001, 2002, that's all Attitude Era. Like, no, it's not. WrestleMania 17 is the cutoff. The moment they go off the air or from WrestleMania 17, the Attitude Era is finito, finished. Goodbye. And if I needed any more proof, I wish I would have screenshot. If I knew I was going to get into arguments over that, I would have screenshotted that playlist, or I would have screenshotted from the early days of the network. Because even in the early days, you remember when the network first came out? Now 10 years ago, and they were putting up the Raw episodes. And the Attitude Era Raws had watermarks on them that said Attitude Era. You remember that?
Yes.
Do you remember what the last episode to have that watermark was?
It was probably the last straw before
the Go Home to WrestleMania 17. Yes, the Go Home to WrestleMania 17. The network was my backup in any of these arguments. And I can say that till I'm blue in the face. I can tell people that till I'm blue in the face. But because of Peacock, I have no pictures, no proof to back it up, which is pretty frustrating. But that will always be my argument. The WWE themselves, on their own platform, would prove me right.
We'll have to see what YouTube says when they put all the Raws on YouTube.
Gosh,
what they classify as what they classify as Attitude Era.
If that really happens, some of our product, some of our reviews might go down a bit. I mean, I have a lot of the Raws from like 2099. Like, there's no problem there. 2001, 2002, 2003, 2004, but like 98, 97, I don't have. So like, I mean, honestly, if it's on there for free, okay. I'm not about to pay. Yeah, I'm not about to pay. I mean, depending if it's a really small price, like some of these people who do like the membership, some of those prices are really small. But it's like I'm already paying for the WWE library on Peacock.
I do. I mean, I have premium, so if it's covered in premium for YouTube, then I won't mind.
Yeah, see, and that's if I had premium, that's another one of the frustrating things too, is I'm paying to where I don't have to sit through ads whenever I watch any of these classic WWE shows. And now if it goes to YouTube, I'm currently not a YouTube premium subscriber. So I'd be sitting through ads. Like
Yeah.
that's why this is so frustrating. Why
Yeah,
not just
but
why
what if
not
they
just
replace?
put it
It's not gonna happen. But let's say they were somehow able to like put in retro kind of ads.
that'd be cool. Because
It's I mean it's not gonna happen obviously because it's gonna be all
I've
this
told you.
stupid shit now. But
You know that you know I've told you this before. I love watching
oh
compilations of
yeah,
from like the early 2000s and late 90s. I hate
my shit.
commercials, but I'll spend a whole hour on YouTube watching a compilation of the late 90s, early 2000s commercials. It's funny.
I wonder if kids these days will do that for their commercials now.
Probably. You never know. You never know.
You
Hey,
never know.
we were talking about the I was gonna give it that. I was gonna call it something to make it short, but it would not have been the perfect. But anyway, we were talking about that nostalgia word. You know, we were talking about that earlier. That's why I can sit through those commercials. That is something that I only like because of nostalgia. We were talking about you only like it because of nostalgia. Those commercials I only like because of nostalgia. That is so because in
Well,
2000, if YouTube was a thing in like 2000, 2001, 2003, I would not be sitting around watching 1 hour compilations of like current 2000s, 2003 commercial, like
it's like how freaking kids shows and movies would add in freaking rap songs out of nowhere. It's like at the time very cringy. Now a little nostalgic.
yeah, I guess so.
By the way, we're live from San Jose, home with this new
Yes,
team called the Sharks.
the Shark Tank.
Munch Munch.
They're not that new, by the way. They came in
94,
93.
93.
93.
So
They're not.
they must have just left the Cow Palace at this point.
Yeah. The Shark Tank. That is where the show is. Val Venus actually references the Shark Tank in his promo a little later on in the show. And
You
so,
know, ladies like to suck, but you know who sucks even more? The Sharks.
no, that's not, that's not what he said.
He turned, he'll turn.
If he went out and said something like that today, it would make a lot of sense because the Sharks have not been all that good. Although they got Macklin Celebrini and Will Smith, they got a future to be excited about. At least with those two.
I've seen your future. You're gonna lose to the Penguins in 6 games in the Cup Finals.
No, don't say that. See, now you just put that in there. Now you just put it in the world that Anthony Beauvillier is going to be a Cup champion for a division rival.
I'm talking about the 2016 Cup Finals.
Oh, so you're saying that? Oh, Val Venus would say that in 1990. Oh, okay.
I've seen the future. My future is not too pretty. I become chief morally.
Oh, come on. No. See, there will be no Chief Morley hatred on this channel.
People, for some reason, people have to act like I'm not Falvius.
First, we got the David Flair hate from Trump. Now he's got a hate on Chief Morley. Come on, Chief Morley was a decent character.
He looks a lot like Val Venus and talks a lot like Val Venus and wrestles like a lot like Val Venus.
Yeah, he did.
I'm just saying, they look a bit similar.
Yeah. We're about 30 minutes into the stream. We have not covered a thing.
It's not like this is a bad show either, too.
No. When did we actually start for the first episode? But I mean, if you watch when Russo goes over like Attitude Era stuff with John Paz, they freaking don't start talking about the show until they're like 40 minutes in. It's like they talk about
they gotta get through all the sponsors.
Not just that, they talk about the current stuff, and it's like, my gosh, I really don't want to hear Vince Russo talking about the current product. I want to hear him talk about the show he actually wrote. That's why I click. Like, I would not blame anybody right now who maybe nobody's watching at the moment. Maybe somebody
I blame them.
somebody in the future may be watching this video, and at this point in the video, they're sitting here like, "Will these guys get to the damn show already?" I would not blame anybody for.
If you're doing that right now, hey, guess what? Fuck you.
and also you can fast forward. Not right now. Again, nobody's watching it. On to the future. The future viewers, you can fast forward. Somebody, once we get enough viewers, somebody in the comments will timestamp when we actually start talking about the show. So if you are watching this like 5 to 10 years from now, and we somehow have become a big YouTube channel,
we're in a studio. We're in a studio talking about pro wrestling. But we're not together. We're not together. We're still somehow doing it through fucking StreamYard. But we're in a studio.
Well, you know, one of the bigger podcasts on YouTube is Lolcow Live. I don't know if you ever heard of them, but they do it through Discord. And they have their Discord. It's actually cool where like they can let viewers in. That's one thing I'd like to do someday if we get big enough, is we do podcasts through Discord, because that could be cool.
Yeah.
I don't know how. I don't know how you could set that up to YouTube, but that's I don't know. I have to look into that when we get big enough, if we ever do.
When we get big enough, and we can start fighting about money. I think I should be paid this much. I think I should be paid this much.
I've always thought that the way to get big. Obviously, we're not going to get big by reviewing wrestling shows. For me, if we get big, like this would be the fun thing that we do. That like, well, it doesn't matter if anybody watches. To me, the one way you could get big on YouTube is to do like Penguin Zero type videos, where like you know what it's called. What do you call it? Videos? How do you say it?
Not reaction.
No, not reaction.
Commentary,
yeah, stuff like that, and you gotta like live stream for a couple hours a day. Like that's the type of shit we need to do. What we're doing, reviewing wrestling, it's like literally just for fun. We're not gonna ever start getting money from YouTube for reviewing wrestling shows
unless we either have a hell of a clip that goes viral. That we could piggyback. We could piggyback on. Yeah. Watch it be like one of the things that we say. One of the stupider things that we said. Or something stupid I say, and I'm like, I don't remember how I made that voice.
Or remember the whole Capo Caco, whatever the hell his name is, thing from today.
KKK.
Triple K. I did not realize what I was
Triple
saying. Triple K. Because you was like, he's got so many K's now. He's Capo Cocking, and then he's a Kraken. I was like, oh yeah, K. Yeah, he's got 3 K's now. I was like, okay.
That joke came from freaking the Simpsons when Krusty goes out to the Apollo and he has KKK behind him. Right. It was supposed to be the Krusty comedy something.
Krusty comedy night.
But they put some Krusty comedy, maybe I forget the joke, but there's KKK. He's like, KKK, that's not good.
Yeah.
But he's at the Apollo, and they start throwing shit. But I'm like, I just picture Capocaco going to the Kraken like, KKK. Oh no. Either that or they do that at the Kraken game, like, here he is, Triple K.
I'm all for early Simpsons episodes, but I don't even. It's been so long now that I've watched it, I don't even remember some of it. So, like, that's literally that scene you're talking about. I can't even remember it.
We got Triple K. We got Triple K and freaking Hogberg.
Okay, so
too bad they can't face each other.
Yeah. So we're nearly 35 minutes into the stream, and we're finally going to start the review. So, video package recapping the tensions building up between Rock and Paul White. They played a clip of Mr. McMahon calling him the Big Show Paul White, which led to me stopping the first time I started because I wanted to tell you, yeah, you were right. He was called the Big Show. So now we start the show with The Rock, and he tells Steve Austin that he will prove his status as the Great One at WrestleMania. But then, remember the dissension in the corporation? The Rock demands that Mr. McMahon come out and prove to him that the Big Show Paul White is not working with Stone Cold Steve Austin. McMahon comes out and he says that 3 generations of Rock's family, 3 generations of his family have looked after Rock's ancestors, and Paul White is not quick. Oh yeah. This one blows up in Mr. McMahon's face as he says, Paul White is not as quick to understand the existing agreement between the McMahons and Rock's family. Paul White comes out and he demands to know what Mr. McMahon is talking about when he says not quick to understanding. So what is he talking about there? Let me see. Hang on, where are we going now? Yeah, okay. So now he's McMahon does not take kindly to the fact that Paul White then threatens Rock and McMahon, and he actually slaps Paul White. Mr. McMahon slaps Paul White, and that leads to Paul White pushing him into a corner and yells at McMahon to never slap him again.
It's not nice.
McMahon collects himself and sets up a main event match as The Rock and Paul White team up to face Mankind, Stone Cold Steve Austin. This is Mr. McMahon's way of trying to prove that The Rock and Paul White can be on the same page. He makes Rock and Paul White shake hands, and that is the end of the segment. A pretty good segment. What do you think of it?
Man, Vince McMahon bringing up Rock's family is makes a whole lot of difference nowadays. It's the current state of what's happening in the WWE. But no, I thought it was. I like and I don't like how basically this whole build to WrestleMania is just. Well, can The Rock trust Big Show? Meanwhile, Stone Cold's like, I'm facing you, you dumb son of a bitch. Please focus on me. I don't give a fuck about Big Show. I'm the one you're facing. You don't think of me. Think about me enough.
Well, it's that third wheel storyline, which sometimes the third wheel works. Like I've said before, we mentioned Survivor Series '98 earlier. I don't even remember if we did mention on the stream. So yeah, we mentioned Survivor '98 recently. They did a third wheel that worked really well, where Sable was facing Jacqueline, and Jacqueline was the third wheel to Mark Marrow, and that ended with at Survivor Series, Sable bombs Mark Marrow on the outside, and the crowd goes absolutely nuts. Third wheels like that work. One of the worst third wheel angles of all time. I've talked about it a ton. When Ken Shamrock was third wheel to somebody who wasn't even in the damn company. Ken Shamrock playing third wheel going into the DX pay-per-view to Bret Hart. Every week, Shawn Michaels is going out cutting promos on fucking Bret Hart. He's not even in the company.
You know who sucks Bret Hart, Ken Shamrock, so that I'm facing you at DX. Please acknowledge that. Shut up, Ken. Okay.
Now, I have
isn't there 4 wheels technically in this storyline, or 5 wheels?
Five.
Because
Okay.
you got Mankind,
Yeah.
you got Vince McMahon,
Yeah.
who's playing a third wheel to the freaking Undertaker, Big Boss Man feud.
There's connecting storylines. That's the thing. Connecting storylines. Now, I don't think that this was necessarily a bad third wheel,
No,
but I will say this. Stone Cold Steve Austin should absolutely have been featured way more in the build up to this than he was. I will
well,
absolutely say that.
well, not to get into spoilers, but literally the next week it is almost the most amount of builds
Yeah.
that we get directly between Austin and Rock. I mean, obviously they'll be facing off tonight, but what I'm saying is next week with the beer bath is pretty much
Yeah.
the biggest amount
Yeah.
of full on build that we get between them.
No, yeah, it's true. It's true. They could have done. You could still have Austin and Rock be, especially when the storyline is the dissension in the ranks, but with the corporation, you could have Austin doing everything he can to make that even worse. Do
Yeah,
this to Paul White. Do this to Rock. Poke the bear a little. Be like, yeah, you see Paul White. You see what Rock's doing there. He ain't your buddy. Something like that. Like they could have
yeah.
absolutely used Austin in this storyline a lot more.
And
Absolutely.
given what happens at WrestleMania 15 and post WrestleMania 15, Austin can be like, well, you dumb son of a bitch. They're just fucking using you. You cost McMahon at freaking St. Valentine's Day Massacre. You gotta play second fiddle to the Rock.
Yeah.
You're one big that other company. You were world champion, and now you're playing second fiddle to the Rock. Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Down
So
south, I guess is what they would say.
right. So yeah, they could have done a lot more with and to be honest, uh the match itself was the least of the three Austin Rock matches, and maybe the build up could have helped that if it would have been a little better.
But here's the thing: we knew that The Rock was going to lose at WrestleMania 15.
Hmm.
It was pretty much a guarantee that that Austin was getting the title back.
Right.
At WrestleMania 17, it was pretty much guaranteed that Austin was probably going to win. We just didn't know that it was going to be by turning heel.
Yeah.
In 03, I think people assumed Austin was going to win, of course, because Rock's heel. I don't think they knew that
The way they
Austin
were
almost fucking died the night before.
Yeah, but the way they were building it, why would anybody think Rock was going to lose that? Because the whole story that Rock was going out and saying every week, you're saying, I've never beaten you. You've got me twice. I want to get you now. Or it was maybe more of Austin pointing that out to Rock, and maybe a little less of Rock actually saying it. But that was kind of the big thing. Like this was where Rock had to get his win after losing the first two. I actually hit remove just as your camera came back.
No, I fixed it. Everything's fixed.
I
See
don't
what
even.
happens when we talk.
Well, go ahead.
See what happens when we talk about the third Rock Austin match.
The third Rock Austin match,
I disappear.
but the third Rock Austin match was really good.
It was good, and thankfully it didn't main event.
Oh yeah. I mean, well, Brock and Kurt Brock Lesnar was the biggest star in the company at the time, so he had to main
Yeah.
event. But I would not have seen anything wrong with having Mr. McMahon and Hogan main event. But
Oh no. You
yeah,
can't have that. Not
only
for
because,
that.
only
Not for
because
that feud.
only because Brock and Kurt, Brock's the biggest star and Brock's the champ. You got the title. Back then, the title had to go on last at WrestleMania. They had that mindset because if they did not have that mindset, Rock and Hogan would have went on last the year prior. But I could absolutely see Hogan and Mr. McMahon. Maybe if the year prior they had Hogan and Rock main event, they don't necessarily care about putting the title on last. It's the biggest main attraction match that goes on last. Hogan and McMahon could have absolutely gone on last at WrestleMania 19.
It's funny. Now in 2006, did they start not giving a shit about who won the Royal Rumble?
Right.
Because that's what
Wait.
it was.
That was when Ray won, and Ray. Oh, well,
Yeah.
Ray didn't main event. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, that's when that started the domino effect of Batista. Undertaker didn't main event with Batista.
Yep.
Who won in 08? Cena didn't main event with Orton or Triple H. 09, Triple H did main event with Orton. Orton won the Rumble. That was a horrible match.
Edge. Who did Edge and Jericho?
Yeah, no. And then the topper of it all, the absolute worst Royal Rumble winner ever, Alberto Del Rio, opens the fucking WrestleMania against Edge.
That was the year they started having world title matches open WrestleMania. And I never liked that.
WrestleMania 28, I kind of get it because it was just going to be the short little 18-second gimmick, fucking bro kick leave kind of crap. I can understand it from that standpoint. But WrestleMania 27 is a show I don't want to ever think about again. That was horrible, top to bottom, one of the worst WrestleManias ever.
Yeah, I don't understand having a world title match open a show. I really don't. That's crazy. Especially WrestleMania, that makes absolutely no sense.
It was horrible.
So now this is what you've been waiting for, and it's funny you didn't have JR in your title today.
I'm running out of funny things to say with JR.
What do you mean you're running out? Literally, your only joke was JR's face at the time. That's both of the episodes where you've brought JR into your title was just about his face. You didn't have too much material to begin with. How you run? You running? You could have had something. Troll.
There you go. Happy now, Frank.
The funny thing is, I literally just got your what your title meant earlier, right as you were changing it. But okay, Troll is War. There you go.
Troll is War.
So now we get to the big moment. A construction crew comes out right in the middle of the show with wooden planks, and you have Jerry Lawler and Michael Cole dumbfounded. They're telling these guys, "Hey, we got a show to do here." And now
shove it up your fucking ass. Hey, bada boom.
Oh, by the way, on our last show earlier today, I forgot to mention something that actually happened on the show. Not something big. Obviously, we didn't leave anything very, very important out, like any segments out. But a vignette aired of a group that I'm a huge fan of, and I hate that I forgot to mention it. The first Mean Street Posse vignette aired on the last
Some episode. Fan you are.
Okay. It's a vignette. Come on.
Like, how dare you forget Joey Abs?
Did you ever read not Abs? Whose book was it?
That's the only one I remember.
Wait, was it Abs? Looking Up at the Ceiling. Was that Abs? Did you read his book? I don't think it was.
I'm saying the only Main Street Posse I can remember is Joey Abs. His name's the only one I can name off the top of my head.
No. It was Pete Gas. Pete Gas, the one.
Pete Gas. I remember.
Pete Gas has a book. I would absolutely, and for it when going into like, okay, Pete Gas is. I'm reading Pete Gas's book. He didn't even have that long of a career. How's this going to be an interesting book? So it's a short book. It's not really that long, but it is it's an interesting read. I'll say that. So check that out. I think it was something of Looking Up at the Lights, some type of title there to say he's getting pinned. Obviously, Looking Up at the Lights. So yeah, I would absolutely say look, go check that book out if you haven't read it already. Uh, so now, speaking of vignettes, another first vignette. This one a little less memorable. Well, it's still remembered for how much hate it gets, but character not as good as the Mean Street Posse. I'll say that. We see the first vignette for Beaver Cleavage.
Oh dear God!
It's obviously it's in 50s style home in black and white. It was
Vince
referencing.
Russo has struck again.
It was referencing a television show. I forget what show it was.
Leave It to Beaver.
Oh, Leave It to Beaver. Right. Leave It to Beaver. Yes. If we're talking 50s television, don't expect me to know everything. So, yeah, Leave It to Beaver. Obviously.
You haven't watched the 1950s television. That's when pro wrestling was at its best.
So now we go back to the commentator's booth, and the construction crew is still working at the announce table. Jerry Lawler actually walks up to one of the construction workers, and the guy says, "Oh, we're just doing what we're told." And Michael Cole's like, "Lawler, just let it be, just let it be." It's like, feed it. Cole's like, just let it be. So now we have.
I kind of hope that these guys are shoot construction workers.
Well, how did they put the table together? Did they actually put the table together? We need to get somebody who's actually at that show.
That table was sturdy though. It didn't break. Yeah. So it must have been. And we cut down a fucking redwood. It was there for hundreds of years. JR wanted it.
Here's what could have happened. The construction workers could have been there pretending like they were setting up a wooden table, and then like as they went to break and the lights dimmed, they bring the table out, or they actually were setting up the table like as everything was going on. I have no idea. I wish we could know that right now.
You hear mid-match a drill.
That's literally the next match you will hear.
Hey, I'm fucking walking. We're walking on a fucking thing.
The next match is very important. We have the Intercontinental title on the line as Road Dogg takes on the defending Val Venis. And guess what? With construction workers making noise and all, we crown a new Intercontinental champion.
So not that anyone could hear it.
Val Venis referenced the Sharks, and well, not the smartest thing to do, I guess. Just like the 2023-2024 Sharks, Val Venis took the L.
Lillian Garcia has to yell over the construction. And your winner, and Dog.
So Road Dogg is your new Intercontinental champion, and he will be defending that title at Mania, which is obviously the second to next show that actually the third to next show that we will be doing. Don't forget our bonus episode. It will be a 4 corners match for the Intercontinental title, and I do not have the DVD with me. I can't look at the DVD right now and tell you who.
I know.
Match. It's
Goldust, isn't it? Val Venis is in it. Obviously, D'Lo Brown is in it.
Was D'Lo in it? D'Lo
was in it because I watched the WrestleMania 15 and 60 seconds thing, and he was.
Okay,
I think he was doing a crossbodies.
Now I'm gonna get the DVD.
Frank's got enough, folks. He's getting the DVD. Surely this DVD will have all the matches on it.
Oh, it does. It has all the matches. You were wrong. D'Lo Brown teams with Tess in the tag match to take on Owen Hart and Jeff Jarrett. Have you not been watching these shows that we're reviewing? D'Lo Brown has nothing to do with the Intercontinental title.
Road Dogg didn't have anything to do with the freaking Intercontinental.
Now he is
until tonight.
Champ. Now he is the champ, so he's thrown into the story.
That doesn't. Well, they needed something for D'Lo.
Yeah, so okay, everything makes sense from where it is, including when you went, except for I guess Road Dogg. But Road Dogg's now the champ, so it's Road Dogg, Val Venus, Ken Shamrock, Goldust. Makes much more sense than D'Lo Brown. I'm
Damn it,
not gonna
D'Lo.
I'm not gonna show the DVD because I will. I as if you've seen any of our pay-per-view reviews, if I have the DVD or VHS, I show it at the beginning of the show. So you'll see that DVD when we review WrestleMania 15. So yeah, D'Lo Brown. I don't know which WrestleMania 15 and 60 seconds you were watching, but D'Lo Brown was not in the IC title match.
Oh, you know what it was? It was a freak. I got my freaking matches mixed up because I am seeing D'Lo Brown get drop kicked midair by Owen Hart. There you go. I should have paid more attention.
Sadly, by the way, that is Owen Hart's final WrestleMania match.
Yeah, it's depressing that the only person who's still I was about to say the only person still alive from that match is freaking Jeff Jarrett. D'Lo Brown. I'm sorry, D'Lo. No.
Oh yeah, that's right. Test is his partner. That's right.
I'm sorry, D'Lo. You're still alive and kicking, my dude.
Ivory and Deborah are still alive, and Ivory still looks amazing to this day. But that's Ivory and Deborah were technically, on the outside, so they were technically a part of the match. And by the way, we were saying this earlier. I did say I don't even think they call him the Big Show at WrestleMania. Well, here's the WrestleMania DVD. I'm holding it right now. The Big Show, Paul White versus Mankind. So it actually does say.
How old is the DVD? Because if the DVD was made in like the 2000s, then
no, they don't.
Well, I guess it would have had to. I guess it would have had to been because they had VHS only really back then.
No, this was brought out. This is literally the first DVD in WWE history, and it came out like the summer of '99. But they don't do it to what they're called the time of the DVD release. They do it to what they were called at the time of the show. Like if they were doing this to what the wrestlers were called in the summer of '99, Paul White would not be named on the DVD. It would just say Big Show.
Yeah.
So we crown a new Intercontinental Champion. What do you think of that match there?
I'm so glad we don't have to deal with Val Venus anymore for about another.
Val Venus is still in the IC title picture. I tell you, he's gonna be in that Four Corners match.
I can act like he isn't though.
So now we have The Rock and Paul White arguing over who's going to be more valuable in their tag team match. So Mr. McMahon's thinking that this is going to prove that the corporation are on the same page, and already that's failing.
Dad loves me more. No, Dad loves me.
After that, we show Road Dogg celebrating his title win with DX. And we follow that up with a handicap match as Shane McMahon takes on the aforementioned Legion of Doom, LOD 99. Wow. There's one problem here. Shane McMahon is not in a handicap match against Road Dogg and Animal. Shane McMahon is in a handicap match.
Road Dogg?
Or excuse me.
My.
Hawk and Animal.
I haven't seen Animal in a long time. I know he passed away, but I don't think him and Road Dogg are the same person.
Hawk and Animal is what I meant. Hawk and
Animal. To be fair, I haven't really watched too many LOD matches. Maybe it starts with, "Oh, you didn't know? You must better call somebody."
So it's not Hawk and Animal. It's Patterson and Briscoe. And Mr. McMahon is on commentary for this match, and he continuously makes sure to say, Patterson and Briscoe, this is Hawk and Animal. He keeps He keeps correcting Cole and Jerry Lawler every time they say Patterson or they say Briscoe, and then he even at one point corrects himself. So it's not Patterson, it's not Briscoe, it's Hawk and Animal, and Shane ends up getting the win here. Obviously, this was obviously a setup by the corporation to make Shane look good. He's beating the Legion of Doom, but he really isn't though.
Now in kayfabe, I think it is forgotten because they never really wrestled as often anymore. But Jared Briscoe and Pat Patterson probably could have kicked Shane's ass.
Yes.
Patterson maybe not so much because he's showing his age here, but Jared Briscoe is still somewhat probably I think he still has black hair at this point. Not fully black hair, but
yeah.
Probably
but
Shane's ass.
Their characters at this point were not supposed to, even though in real life they actually are tough.
So I feel like even in kayfabe they were somewhat tough.
Yeah, somewhat.
But I guess for the sake of Mr. McMahon,
you normally do it good. You didn't do it that good there.
Mr. McMahon.
There you go. That's yeah.
What if they were like, fuck that doesn't work for me, brother.
They just go off.
I was the first Intercontinental Champion. I totally won this in Brazil.
Pat Patterson just makes Shane tap out and he just takes the the European title.
He takes the European. I won this in Brazil too.
Oh boy.
Jerry Briscoe makes the run-in for his brother. You're ruining my legacy if you lose to Shane, you bastard.
So now the show starts getting serious. After a little comedy, this is where it gets serious, and this is absolutely the best segments because this is a multiple segment thing. These are the best segments on the night. As Vince and Shane are walking up the ramp to go backstage, an image of their house flashes up on the Titantron, and you hear the Undertaker's voice as he says that he will be waiting when she comes home. Remember, there was a reference to she last week, and on which obviously last week in reality to the reviews we were doing was just a couple hours ago for us because we reviewed last week a couple hours ago, and I said at the time obviously you wouldn't know who she is, but obviously now in all these years later we know who the Undertaker was referring to. But at this point, that's what I was going to say. At this point, if you're watching this live and they're at McMahon's house, you know that there could be two people. It could be Stephanie, it could be Linda. So if you're watching that in real time, that might be what a viewer who's watching this live could be thinking. Are they about to go at Linda or are they about to go at Stephanie?
Now, wait a second. What if Paul Bearer was in charge of giving them the directions to their house? And he's like, whoopsie, we accidentally went to the actress of Buffy.
Sarah Michelle Gellar.
We're outside, Sheriff. And it's like, God damn it, Paul. We're supposed to be at Vince McMahon's house. She's coming. She'll be here. She gets the cross. God damn it, Paul. You fucked up. I really want to meet her. She's my favorite.
If we ever take off, it's gonna be random as hell. But the Paul Bearer loves Buffy jokes are gonna become big. That's one of the reasons why I want us to blow up. Wrestling fans all over the world are gonna be like, "What the fuck? When was Paul Bearer ever a Buffy fan? Where is this coming from?"
The biggest Buffy fan that he would be willing to screw up Undertaker's plan just to meet Sarah McGill.
Can't blame him. Can't blame him. I can't blame him for wanting to see Stephanie McMahon, but they knew Stephanie McMahon at the time, so it's Sarah Michelle Gellar. But Sarah Michelle. There are way more cuter women in Buffy than Sarah. Although Sarah's still not bad looking herself, so I can't blame them. Couldn't blame Paul Bearer if he actually did that. Could you imagine? Random episode of Raw, the Ministry pulls up to Sarah Michelle Gellar's house. They probably have to show up to a shooting of Buffy because Buffy was actually still on the air at this time. I have no idea if they would be shooting in March. I don't know the shooting schedule that Buffy had.
She tries to kill the Brood. She tries to kill Gangrel. You're a vampire. No, I just played one on TV. Your teeth aren't coming out. Shit.
Oh,
we have lost Gangrel.
I'm pretty sure. I don't know if it was on this channel, but I'm pretty sure it was on the channel. I once made a joke to Christian long before you came on the show that Buffy should have had a feud. They should have put Buffy on WWE television back then and had her feud with the Brood. So now you just literally did the same joke, just recycling my old jokes. You must be watching our old episodes.
Yes, I stumbled upon the hard episode of where you get your head on.
Oh boy!
But in kayfabe, I think Undertaker and Paul Bearer would have ran into Stephanie at some point in the early '90s because she was modeling the T-shirts, and
right. Yeah.
That's how that whole rumor about her and Stephanie.
Well, hopefully
we're not gonna talk about.
Hopefully that rumor is true. Hopefully that rumor.
That's a very fucked up rumor. It's true. I wouldn't put it. And knowing we know about Vince, I would not put it past that son of a bitch.
Well, you're saying like Vince had something to do with this? So Vince it would still be a bad look on Randy Savage.
I wouldn't put anything past Vince McMahon. That man is an evil son of a bitch, legitimately. So.
But hopefully Randy Savage wasn't that type of guy that he would accept.
No, Randy always seemed like somewhat of a level-headed guy,
right?
Who was a little bipolar about if he liked Hogan or not. One minute he was like, "Fucking hate that son of a bitch." The next he was like, "Oh no, he's a pretty cool guy."
Yeah. So now we actually see. You know what? We actually saw Ed Ferrara on WWE. Well, at least on a Raw or a Heat, because Vince Russo used to be on he would make appearances on what was it called? Well, he used to do commentary on Shotgun Saturday Night.
He used to be on Livewire.
Livewire, that's what I was thinking.
That's where Vic Venom came from.
Yep, that's so.
Well, that's what his name. That's what his name was in the magazines.
Right, he did Livewire and Shotgun Saturday Night, but Ed Ferrara was shown on Raw before Vince Russo ever was. I don't even know if Vince Russo actually ever was shown on Raw when he was the head writer, and he probably never has been shown on Raw ever. So Ed Ferrara beat Vince Russo to Raw. We show, and it's not an actual Raw segment. It is Eminem's Slam of the Week, where Steve Williams is destroying Ed Ferrara. Where Ed Ferrara was was brought out of the crowd by Tiger Ali Singh to make fun of JR, and that is why Steve Williams comes in and just beats the hell out of Ed Ferrara. First off, what did you think of the segment prior to the Eminem's Slam of the Week there with Vince Undertaker?
That's a good segment.
Yeah.
Here's the problem, because Vince McMahon is a heel. He's not like a tweener heel. He's running the corporation who's trying to hurt Austin, who the fans like,
Yeah.
but we're supposed to feel sympathy for him because for whatever reason the Undertaker, who we also are not supposed to like, is tormenting his family, who at this point we only know two people of, and they're both dicks.
Right.
So
But the sympathy here is because this is such a real situation. Spoiler alert: if your daughter is ever abducted by somebody,
yeah, but we don't know. But we could also assume if Shane McMahon's a dick like his father, wouldn't it have been safe to assume that maybe this whoever he's talking about is also a dick?
no, because Stephanie's cute, therefore she cannot be a dick.
Not until she needs to be.
No, no, no. She's cute. She's not. Stephanie McMahon is not a bad person at all. She's cute,
That,
and
that's what
that's
works for
fine.
Stephanie.
That's what I'm gonna. How do you say it? That's my. I forgot what I was gonna say, but anyway. Uh, but yeah, it's such a realistic heartstrings pull the heartstrings type of story where like if you put yourself in that position in Mr. McMahon's position, you can feel sorry for him. And then once it's revealed what was really going on, it makes you hate Mr. McMahon even more. Because Mr. McMahon obviously is a heel. He's still a heel. Because once it's revealed that he was playing this up to get at Stone Cold Steve Austin, he hates Stone Cold Steve Austin so much that he would have his daughter go through all that. That
But he's
makes you
still.
hate Mr. McMahon even
Yeah,
more. Because, like,
here's the thing: he doesn't even have to do any of this. Yeah, as the higher power, he doesn't need to torture his daughter. His daughter doesn't need to be. He could have.
but the Mr. McMahon character is such a piece of shit. He doesn't care about his daughter.
Yeah, but Austin doesn't even give a shit about what's happening to Vince right now. He's more focused on trying to get the Rock to notice it.
At this point, yes. At this point, yes. But as time goes on, and Mr. McMahon actually reels Austin in, is like, here, please help
Yeah.
me with this situation.
Post backlash is when
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
all starts to
Because
come together for Vince.
Backlash goes off the air with Stephanie, the where to Stephanie.
Where to?
And that's where Austin comes in because Mr. McMahon's like, look, I hate you, but look what this guy's doing to my daughter. I need your help. That's where that comes in. And after all that, he uses Austin,
Yeah.
And then it was all just a ruse. It makes you hate Mr. McMahon even more because you were actually feeling sorry for him. You were actually feeling horrible for him because look at what this guy is doing to his daughter. Like, how can Undertaker do this? And then it's all just this one big ruse. And once you realize that, you hate Mr. McMahon even more. That's why I love the higher power storyline. Nobody can tell me anything about that. I
do like when Vince McMahon is revealed.
Yeah.
He knows that what he's been doing is horrible and it's just the worst. Because he says, may this evil demonic son of a bitch reveal themselves now.
Yeah.
And he says that, and it's revealed. It's me, Austin! Oh, son of a bitch. And Austin doesn't even give a shit. He's like, oh, you stupid son of a bitch! I own your company now.
yeah. Well, at this point, Austin's got to be like, well, I knew he would do. It's Mr. McMahon. He's been doing this shit to me for years. Yeah, he hates my guts. It's not that surprising.
It's Christopher Daniels. It's me, Austin. Austin, who the fuck is this? Or Jake the Snake. It's me. Gulp, 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 gulp.
Oh.
It's me, Austin. Look at this. My snake's my dick. Damn, son, I cut that promo on United 6. The fuck happened to you?
Oh, my gosh. I still can't believe that. It's got to be an internet rumor that Christopher Daniels was actually considered for that. Like, what?
But that's such a random name to pick, so it had to have some legitimate thought put into because that's such a random ass name. You could have picked anybody else from the
The,
indies of the late 90s.
the only way I could see it is if somebody who was good friends or really thought like maybe Terry Taylor just threw the name out.
Terry, well, he should have thrown himself out. It's me, Austin.
That's the only way I could see. Like, there's no way Vince himself was like, you know what, this Christopher Daniels kid, or Vince Russo was like, you know, bro, this Christopher Daniels kid, or even Ed Ferrara. I would not expect.
Oh, I know Jim Cornette wouldn't have thought it.
Maybe Jim Cornette.
No, because Cornette didn't really watch this. Cornette didn't watch the Indies in the 90s. He was also probably a little too flippy back then.
Right, true. That's why I would think maybe Terry Taylor, if anybody.
But I haven't really seen Christopher Daniels cut many promos. Maybe he was a really good promo. So that.
But the character that he was portraying on the Indies fit the ministry.
The fallen angel is a good gimmick. It would have fit the ministry great.
It fit, but everybody who was watching WWE at that time would have been like, "Who the fuck is this guy?" You can't.
But that would be such a good way to debut him.
No, because it was such a big angle. People were expecting something big. It can't be some indie worker who nobody's ever heard of. That would have been such a horrible idea. And I guarantee it had to be somebody. If it was brought up, it had to be somebody like Terry Taylor and Vince. Both Vinces would have immediately shot it down. Like, no, this makes no sense. It makes sense in terms of what the character he was portraying, but still, it would not have worked because everybody would have been like, "Who the fuck is this guy?"
Well, they didn't have a developmental at this point, right? Because
they kind of did. Memphis.
I guess Memphis, yeah, because they don't get OVW until the mid 2000s, and that gets fucked up by everything.
It was Memphis at this time.
So maybe someone from the Memphis area. Maybe it was Jerry Lawler who saw Christopher Daniels and said, maybe this kid.
Maybe. And I'm sure
Memphis was his territory.
And no matter who it was, I'm sure it would be immediately shot down. It would be immediately shot down because it would have made no sense to debut a no name in terms of the mainstream pro wrestling in such a big angle. It would have made no sense. It makes sense in terms of the character he portrays, yes, but nobody who watched Raw in 1999 was seeing Christopher Daniels portray that character.
Jeff Jarrett sees it. Oh, wow.
Maybe a small portion of people who watch Raw, because obviously indie fans obviously watch wrestling, so I'm sure some of them were watching, but that it still would not be big enough to where it would have been worth it to debut him at that point.
I just find it amazing that Christopher Daniels was active for so long that he was never really even talked about it all back then.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't really get that TNA run until mid 2000s.
No. He was on those weekly pay-per-views. He was there from almost the beginning.
Yeah, but he doesn't have his his great feud with
AJ.
What's it called? With AJ or Jay Lethal until 05, 06.
Yeah, but he was a big part of the tag team scene in the weekly pay-per-view era. The one of my favorite tag team feuds of TNA's history with AMW and Triple X was Triple X is Daniels and who's the Canadian football player from WCW? Not an actual Canadian football player. That was his gimmick in WCW.
Not Petey Williams.
No, his name is on the tip of my tongue. I can't even. Prime time. Oh, Elix Skipper. Yeah.
He was decent in the ring, and he had that one moment that everyone remembers.
That cage walk was so crazy. I can't believe a human being can walk a steel cage like that.
It was pretty crazy.
It's a crazy thing I've ever seen. And the fact The fact that he pulled it off is unbelievable. Like, how did he not fall off that cage and break his neck?
I mean, it kind of looked like he was starting to fall off.
He was kind of like,
That hurricane wasn't completely on the shoulders right there. He was kind of falling off a little bit there. But
can't
could
pay.
you imagine?
You can't pay me enough to do that. I'm telling you, I ain't walking no cage. Get the fuck out.
Could you imagine if it was Petey Williams revealed as the higher power, and he just starts hitting Canadian destroyers in 1999?
Oh my gosh.
Oh, it's like, I'm not taking that fucking move. You kidding me?
But I don't think anybody in WWE at that time would have taken a Canadian destroyer. This was before the light heavyweights. Well, not necessarily before the light heavyweight. There were some light heavyweights in '97, but most of the main event guys were not going to take that.
No.
Austin.
I mean, it's a hell of a fucking move. It's so cool. Yeah. But AEW and the current indies have kind of ruined the fucking mystique of it. It's because if you used it as just a finisher that normally wins the match, awesome. But now it's used as a fucking setup move or just a regular ass move. You can't do that with the Canadian Destroyer.
Those type of moves get old very quickly. They do.
But that's when Petey Williams used it. He used it only to win matches, and he didn't really win too many matches. So when he hit it, it was holy shit. What the fuck is this?
Oh yeah, I get what you're saying, but like those. The high flying thing got old very quickly for me. It really did. You know, those crazy type of moves, and like I said, like seeing Ila Skipper walk the cage, that's one of the craziest things I've ever seen. But like if somebody did that today, it'd still be impressive as hell, but it'd be like, okay, we've seen this. It's like
I think because it hasn't happened in so long, if someone did do it today, it would be holy shit, that's great.
I don't know. You see it once, you've seen it enough. That's the way I feel about a lot of those high flying.
It's kind of like the super kick. It's kind of been dumbed down a little bit.
Yeah.
Mostly somewhat because of the Young Bucks, somewhat because of the horrible WrestleMania match we had this year.
I did not watch. I know you were there. I did not watch.
Yeah. You missed a horrible Jimmy Uso Jey Uso match where they legitimately they revealed this later on. They forgot that they had been in the tag team for so long that they had the same exact moveset as each other. So the match was literally just them kicking each other and doing each other's moves because they're like, oh shit. We have the same moveset as each other. What are we gonna do?
Wow, that's crazy. Okay, so
this story was good though.
Yeah. So now, JR and Steve Williams walk out, and Ross uncovers the table to reveal. He uncovers the cloth. He takes the cloth off to reveal the table, that was built earlier in the show. And it says JR is Raw in the old Raw is War logo. JR asked Lawler whether he wants to come up and be a part of the A-Team. And then he proceeds to commentate on the live feed as Dr. Death is the bodyguard. And this made for some good commentary between Michael Cole, JR, and Jerry Lawler. There's that one time, I forgot what he said. Oh, yeah. Michael Cole's like, I can't see anything because there's a freaking cowboy hat in my way. And JR says, Cole, you better shut up or else you're going to have a cowboy boot in your ass. Yes, this was one of the better parts of the show. I've said it so many times as we're reviewing these shows. JR's little heel turn here was one of the underrated parts of the build-up to WrestleMania 15. So what do you think about this? They finally reveal what everything was going on with those markers.
It's great to have JR back in commentary. And
Nothing against Cole or Lawler though.
no, I mean this is early Cole, so this isn't like peak Cole yet, and he does fuck up pretty badly at WrestleMania. Peak Cole's probably depending on when you watch, really.
For me,
because I could, you're gonna say like 03.
Yeah, when he was with Taz, 03.
Yeah, so that
I loved him in Taz, and I'm not.
That's your peak Cole.
I'm not just saying that as a Met fan too, because Cole and Taz are both Met fans. But I grew up on 03 SmackDown, 04 SmackDown, and it's not just growing up, not just the nostalgia. They were funny. They were funny as a commentary team. And Michael Cole got a lot of hate, and I think
deservedly.
No, I don't think
somewhat deservedly, because you didn't watch during. Did you watch during his heel turn?
Yes, I watched the heel turn.
I know, yeah, that was.
But no, it's not just that. It's a lot of people. It's more than just the heel turn, though. A lot of people tried to say that Michael Cole was not a good announcer. I've heard a lot of people say it. And
here's the thing about Michael Cole's announcing. Once he became the voice of WWE, it wasn't his. It's like Snooki. It wasn't his fault. It was fucking the buck-tooth wonder Kevin Dunn and Vince McMahon's fault, where it's like, talk like this, no, say this. The man was being berated every fucking minute by a lunatic and another lunatic. When the first time that people really got to see him call without Vince McMahon's interference was they had a UK tournament like 2015, 2014. And they're like, "Oh my God, Cole's good when he's not being fucking screamed at by Vince McMahon." And even now, he's pretty good.
To me, one of Michael Cole's best commentary moments was how he commentated the infamous CM Punk Money in the Bank match. He told that story so well. It's more than. This is another thing I hate about the internet. Everybody wants the commentators to call the moves. You're not calling the moves. It's like there's more to what the mainstream wrestling. When you're a commentator on a mainstream wrestling show, you are telling a story. You're not just sitting there going arm drag, drop toe hold. It's a suplex. It's way more than that. And Michael Cole did a phenomenal job at Money in the Bank 2011, calling even at the beginning where he tells like the history of the WWE title, the end where Mr. McMahon has lost his all that. Michael Cole did a phenomenal job in that match. That is one of my favorite. I have like favorite matches commentary wise for both Michael Cole and JR. My favorite Michael Cole commentary match, I just said Punk and Cena at Money in the Bank 2011. My favorite JR one is actually not a WWE one. Clash of the Champions 1, Sting and Flair. JR did a phenomenal job commentating on go ahead. He did a phenomenal job commentating and showing emotion as that match got later and later into it, where the emotion really started to pick up, and just the emotion in JR's voice as he called that match. That's the mark of a good commentator. Somebody who can tell the story, show emotion, invoke emotion, more than just sitting there saying arm drag or drop toe hold or suplex, more than just calling the moves. You're not supposed to call the moves like when you're commentating pro wrestling, because there's more to it than just the moves. I do not know where Tro is, but he's back. Okay.
You do.
Okay, so did you
on location? Yeah. Oh yeah, no, I heard your whole thing about storytelling with commentators.
Right, but do you like me? Do you have favorite matches for certain commentators Those are the only two I have. Just Cole and JR. I don't have for like every commentator ever.
One of Cole's better commentary was, funny enough, in '99 when he said the whole spiel about Mick Foley finally winning the title.
Yes. Oh,
And
yes.
like this isn't even peak Cole. Peak Cole yet. This was just him like pouring his heart out of how good it.
Absolutely.
Showing emotion. Favorite
JR?
Cole. JR. Not that he's bad. JR's good, but I'm trying to think of specific. Yeah, I'm trying to think of like a specific good JR. Maybe Austin. Maybe WrestleMania 17. His pain.
Yeah.
His pain as of seeing his best friend turn heel.
Have you watched Sting and Flair Clash of Champions 1?
No, that was probably pre-Bell's palsy for JR, right?
Yeah. So I would say to see Ross JR's best work, in my opinion, is to watch that match. Well, listen to him on that match. Because when the match picks up and the crowd really starts getting into it, JR really just the emotion goes up in his voice. So he was really into that match, and that was. If I had to pick a favorite, I would pick a favorite Bobby Heenan moment, not necessarily a match, because obviously Bobby Heenan was more of a color guy, not a normal commentator. But I guess he's another guy who I would come up with a favorite. The Nitro before Starrcade '97. That is when NWO took over, and it was like NWO Nitro. So whenever NWO was not on commentary, Bobby Heenan would be to the other two guys, Tony Schiavone and either Larry Zbyszko or Mike Tenay. He was like, I'm on your guy's side. I'm on your guy's side. The NWO's evil. Then the NWO comes in. They'll have like a couple NWO guys come out. They're like, Bobby Heenan turns on a dime. He's like, yeah, NWO, I'm with you guys. So like Heenan that was some of his best work in terms of his commentary career. Some of his best work. And I've said it before. My all-time favorite pro wrestler is Hulk Hogan, but my all-time favorite just flat-out performer, it doesn't necessarily have to be somebody who actually wrestles. My all-time favorite performer in pro wrestling history is Bobby Heenan. Because whether he was a manager or a commentary, he was entertaining as hell.
But Bobby was always great. Bobby was the man.
Yeah.
Whether it be the '92 Rumble or
yes. That was his best match, actually.
Yes.
If I had to pick a best match, because the NWO stuff on that Nitro, that's more of a moment.
That and when he said that Jannetty tried to dive through the window.
Yes.
Trying to escape. But even the whole ceremony was like, oh, I knew he was going to do that. See, what was that? After moments before saying
one without the other just doesn't something like that. Yeah.
Oh, I knew he was going to do that.
Yeah.
Michaels is better off with Jannetty. I've been saying that off and on for years.
I think some of our better episodes are when we just go off randomly, like we have in this episode, and we kind of did it.
We're halfway there.
Yeah, we kind of did in the last episode too. It's like when we have more to talk about than just the show itself, and we still do finish the show itself, but sometimes when we have other shit that we come up to talk about, it makes it the show a little more interesting. I don't know. Yeah. I'm obviously not one of our viewers. I'm obviously on the show itself, but for me, it's more fun when because sometimes when we just talk about the show, we could knock it out in like under an hour.
Well, yeah, that's what we've been doing for the last few ones.
Yep. So since we just said that, why not go back to the show itself?
Meanwhile, on the plot, back to the plot.
Yeah. Public Enemy, who says they will earn their respect from the WWE which that leads to the WWE Tag Team titles. Jeff Jarrett and Owen Hart taking on Public Enemy. Public Enemy actually had a WWE Tag Team title match. I did not know this. And I've seen this episode plenty of times. This is just something that's immediately forgotten. That's crazy to me. That Public Enemy was around long enough to actually get a WWE title shot. And this
Public Enemy's title run is not title run, WWF run lasting more than just one match is crazy to me.
Yeah. And this is again Vince McMahon taking a real moment and trying to make a storyline out of it. And maybe this is a little more Russo as well, who's trying to do it too, because Public Enemy was hated in the locker room, especially after the APA match, because APA just beat the shit out of them. And they went backstage and complained, and APA looked at that as being disrespectful and as being guys who can't take it. You know, they don't belong here if they're going to complain.
To be fair, these guys came from ECW. If you can't take an ass beating, I don't know what to tell you.
Right.
You're coming from ECW. I think you can handle Bradshaw and Farouk kicking your ass legitimately for. What, I don't know how long the match was. You can probably take it.
Right, but that's the thing. This is what they're trying to turn all that into a storyline. Because these guys actually had heat, and they tried to turn it into a storyline, but the reason why it didn't work is because the heat that Public Enemy was getting ended up kicking them out of the company.
Yeah.
And around the same time, the Dudley Boys, later in the year, they debut. And they get the same ass whooping from APA, and they immediately, after the match, shake their hands. So the Dudleys ended up getting the respect Public Enemy didn't. And, sadly, that's what happened to Public Enemy, who were really good tag team in WCW, I'll say that. But in this match, obviously, they did not win. Owen pins... Johnny Grunge. Jeff Jarrett actually hit Johnny Grunge with a guitar. That is the end of what I believe is the only tag team title match that Public Enemy got in the WWE. And now we see Vince McMahon and Shane McMahon calling the local police department to try to tell them that the Ministry is at their home. And this is something where I guess with pro wrestling, it is kind of a real life thing. I mean, the guy who stabbed Bruiser Brody got away with it because people thought it was an angle in Mexico, legit, and or at least the officers did, I guess, some shit like that. So Vince calls the police department, and you obviously don't hear the police officer on the other line, but Vince is relaying back what the officer is telling him. He's like, Mr. McMahon's like, publicity stunt? No, this is not a publicity stunt. He's like, what do you mean you see me on TV right now? It's like what? So it's so that's essentially what you would get sometimes when there's real life drama in pro wrestling that needs to have the authorities involved. The authorities.
Vince McMahon.
Go ahead.
Vince McMahon is like, please save my family. The cop's like, this is kayfabe. This is all kayfabe. I'm watching WCW. God damn it, you're not watching the rivalry. Is Hogan on there? That's a bitch.
Now we have Mankind. So this is actually the Coast Guard Rescue of the Week here. Mankind attempting to give Mr. McMahon the mandible claw. He gets beat down by Paul White and Vince McMahon. And I believe that's from last week. That's from the main event last week. I'm not 100% sure. Now we see...
The Coast Guard Rescue of the Week.
Yes.
They had to advertise the Coast Guard back then.
Yeah, 1999 WWE for you.
Imagine you're drowning in the ocean. You're like, save me! The Coast Guard. I don't know who the hell you are. Blah, 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 blah. Thank you, WWF. Now I know who the Coast Guard are. Just Guardians.
So here we go. This is one of my favorite parts of. We get a little bit of comedy out of the this serious angle here, where Shane McMahon actually offers to call the Mean Street Posse to deal with the Ministry. Obviously, at the time, nobody really knows who the Mean Street Posse is. You've seen the vignette the prior week. That's literally all people have to go on. The next vignette airs a few segments later. So maybe at the time, the Mean Street, maybe these are some real life badasses character wise, but obviously with hindsight being 2020 and you know what the Mean Street Posse characters were, it's pretty much comedy that Shane McMahon offers to get the Mean Street Posse to help. And after the police will not do anything for him. Oh yeah, so yeah, he's saying that since the police ain't doing nothing, let's get the Mean Street Posse to deal with them. So now the phone rings. Shane answers it. He gives it to Vince, and it's Undertaker. And Vince just hangs up and says that the Undertaker told him it's nearly 10 o'clock. Do you know where your family is? And obviously, go ahead.
So there has to be so many unanswered questions right now. First of all, who's filming Vince McMahon's house? Is it one of the members of the who's are they in a hearse?
Right.
And whose cell phone is that?
And is Paul Bearer somewhere watching Buffy?
Paul Bearer is inside the house with Stephanie and Linda watching Buffy. Whoa, Linda, this house is neat. I love Buffy. Oh, by the way, Stephanie, we're about to kidnap you.
Oh gosh.
God damn it, Paul. Get the fuck out of the house. Not until Buffy's over.
So they go to commercial after Vince said he told them it's 10 p.m. Do I know where my family is? So they come back from commercial. Vince hurdles the corporation around for a strategy session regarding the next match. And now we see Mankind telling Mr. Sacco that he's going to give him a bath in Paul White's saliva. Ew. That's what I have to say about that. Especially imagine hearing that in a post-COVID world.
I'm gonna give you a bath. Just walk up to a random person. I'm gonna give you a bath in saliva.
That's disgusting. So what did you think of the prior segment there with Mean Street? Not Mean Street Posse, with Shane and Posse. Technically, Mean Street Posse was referenced.
It's good. It's good building up tension. And Frizzleman's like, "Where the hell is my family?" Oh, there you are, Shane. Never mind. Oh, my other family.
Yeah.
But my question is, does Vince McMahon's house not have any phones? Does Vince not believe in landlines?
He was calling the house, and they kept saying there was no answer. They kept.
So what you're telling me is that Linda and Stephanie do not have cell phones.
I don't know. I guess
this is the late 90s, so it's not like cell phones are those big blocky things of the 80s.
This is the late 90s, and the McMahons are rich as hell, so they would.
I wonder what. This is dead service.
They'd have iPhones at this point in '99.
They probably would. Look at this touch screen. Ah! Look at what my phone can do. Fart sound, fart sound, fart sound, fart. Ha ha ha! That's such good shit, pal.
Oh boy. So now we have a hard-timed steel cage match. Big Boss Man taking on Midian, and this ends with a no contest because be the corporation's way of getting at the Ministry. Midian is left alone here to wrestle in this cage match, obviously. The Ministry is all, the rest of them are literally have the McMahon house. So Midian's alone. The whole corporation is at the show. So Midian is walking into a fire pit here, especially with what his buddies are doing to the McMahon family at this point. And so what happens is uh, the Midian gets jumped by the entire corporation except for The Rock, and they beat him down. And then Vince threatens to have Midian destroyed. I think he threatened to pull his eyes out if Undertaker did not leave the home. They cut back to the home where Undertaker says, "Go ahead, beat Midian down." The ministry is prepared to die for their Dark Lord.
Midian's like, I don't want to die. I didn't agree. Undertaker, please, I don't want to die. They are all ready to die. Paul did their contracts. They agreed.
The funny part about this segment is literally Undertaker standing there with pretty much the whole group except for Midian. And he's talking about how these guys are ready to die for him. And like Edge and Christian are standing there as Undertaker saying like they would die for Undertaker. And Edge and Christian are just smiling from ear to ear. Like, yeah, we would die for him.
Beware, we will die for the Undertaker. We are what we are. And Gangrel's like, yes, we'll fucking die for the Undertaker.
And then as Gangrel is saying that, Buffy just comes out of nowhere and stakes him.
You are willing to die. You saved me, Gangrel. And Paul Bearer, oh my God, Buffy! He doesn't even check on Gangrel. He's like, Buffy, you saved me.
Well, you don't watch Buffy because when Buffy stakes a vampire, they just turn into dust. Midian would have. Gangrel
turns into dust on Vince McMahon's lawn. Try to scoop him up. It's only dirt and dust. I can't tell which one. Where does it start and where does he end?
And then Buffy just kidnapped Stephanie
McMahon. Now she's the third wheel of the storyline. Paul Bearer has to choose between Buffy or his love for the Undertaker. Which one do I love more? The Undertaker or Buffy?
Oh gosh, that's hilarious. So after that, we have a pretty funny little vignette here where Jerry Lawler, Sable is giving Jerry Lawler a tour of the Playboy Mansion. We see Hugh Hefner on there. He's talking about wishing Jerry Lawler well. Or excuse me, he's talking about his magic wishing well. Right, I've misread that. Hugh Hefner is talking about his magic wishing well. Okay. Lawler's eventually tossed out of the mansion for trying to swim with some of the models. And then so they cut to the ring where Jerry Lawler is. And Lawler, worry, that security guard that tossed him out of the mansion, he talked to Hugh Hefner, and that security guard was fired. So then Lawler welcomes the WWE Women's Champion Sable out, and Sable is coming out to reveal her Playboy cover shoot, and the Titantron shows some of the pictures from the shoot, but not all of them, which leaves Jerry Lawler upset. But Sable says that the people need to pay to see her in co-promising positions again. To which Tori interrupts and says that people can see her for free. And she refuses to stay in Sable's shadow. She challenges Sable to a match at WrestleMania. Sable accepts. And then Tori takes her dress off as she leaves again. As she says, people can see her for free. And Tori looked amazing. Not to say that Sable didn't, but Tori looked amazing. What do you think of this segment right here? Both of the vignette prior and the segment itself.
I thought it was a fine segment. I mean, this is the best what they can. This is the best what they're doing with the win at this point with the Playboy thing. So it's whatever.
Yeah, so Tori gets a women's title shot at WrestleMania, and obviously we will cover that very, very soon. Now we see a police officer showing up to the McMahon residence, and he is obviously investigating what's going on at the house, and he finds nothing, surprisingly. And now we get the second Mean Street Posse vignette. This is a very funny vignette. The Mean Street Posse vignettes were very funny, especially, again, after the fact, knowing who the Mean Street Posse were, the characters. They are portrayed as tough guys in their vignettes, but obviously, as once they debut, we see these guys aren't really all that tough, which made them a very good comedy segment on the show. And now we've already had one title change on Raw, which we have another one, which is very surprising for a Raw only 2 weeks prior to WrestleMania. We get two title changes. The hardcore title, yes, the hardcore title is on the line as Hardcore Holly defends against Billy Gunn. And again, this was right in the middle of JR doing his commentary on his mini table, and you've been saying for days, I guess.
For
We've been
days.
doing these shows a couple days apart, but you've been saying that somebody takes a bump on that mini table. It was Hardcore Holly who took the bump.
I'm so glad that I wasn't confused because I'm like, I'm pretty sure someone takes the bump of that table somewhat. I thought they just hit their head on the side, but no, it was a full-on bump.
Yeah. So Hardcore Holly takes a full-on bump on that mini table and then proceeds to lose his title to Badass Billy Gunn, who hit a Fameasser on the chair. Really good hardcore match. What do you think about it?
You know, the Fameasser isn't a bad finisher. It's a,
Yeah.
I mean, it's it's kind of like a face buster, I guess. But
Pretty much.
I mean, it's a good fit. It does the job. It gets like you could honestly believe that would probably put someone down for a 3 count.
Yeah.
And it's also easy to do. It's also easy to do it with weapons because you just put the weapon right there, and then it helps make it more believable. But Billy Gunn wasn't really going for the hardcore title either.
Yeah. But yet he still won it.
Yeah, this is the whole the Billy Gunn and Road Dogg were going for separate titles, and then they switched. Crap.
Yeah. So now Vince tells the police on the phone that they need to check the house again. And then, well, he's essentially proven right because the Undertaker gives a voiceover as he says they are hiding where the police cannot find him. And that
Here we go again.
he may torture her when he gets home, or maybe the father figure she never has. So now we know. He says maybe the father figure she never has. So obviously not talking about Linda here. It's talking about Stephanie. We now know that this is all about Stephanie. So, yeah. And hold on. And then they show the Undertaker symbol burning on Mr. McMahon's front lawn. Go ahead.
They are hiding somewhere in the house, and that is absolutely hilarious. Because not only that means they had to somehow get inside. Maybe they used Undertaker power, but now I just picture them. They're inside the house, assuming that Linda and Stephanie don't come back for the rest of the night.
Yeah.
Are they just picking up? Are they picking up bedrooms? Brood, you have to share a bed. You sleep in chains.
And then like
beware, take care, tuck me in.
and then like the horrible police work. Like, how does the officer not check the whole house?
You just find Paul Bear at the fridge eating ice. I swear, I'm not doing anything. I swear. Maybe they're scared of vampires. Gangrel pops up. Yeah, I'm gonna suck you. Blah.
That's why they needed Buffy.
Maybe they hid in the pool because I know Vince has a pool
Yeah.
where you can just hide under the water. Well, I don't know. It's rare. They have viscera. They how do you miss viscera? Viscera. You hear someone upstairs like, "Doom, doom." Is there someone up? No, that's just the way. That's just the way. I have a leaf protecting me. They won't ever see. They won't see me.
Oh gosh, that's hilarious.
That's an image.
So
This is the images that I want. Taker, the ministry hanging, having a party at, having a night out at Vince McMahon's house,
right.
playing hide and go seek with the cops.
So now, if you remember the last episode, which we literally just covered hours ago, Chyna had her face burned because Kane threw a fireball at Triple H while Chyna was holding Triple H back, but Triple H ducked the fireball hit Chyna. So Michael Cole gives us an update here saying Chyna had a partially burned retina in her right eye due to that fireball. And he, being Michael Cole, also tells us that Triple H versus Kane has been made for WrestleMania. That being said, Triple H ain't waiting for 2 weeks. As he comes out, challenges Kane. Kane comes out himself. They both brawl around the ring. Then Mr. McMahon comes out. He tells Kane that he needs his help. This is where storylines kind of come together and mesh into one little segment because Mr. McMahon is trying to get Kane the help with this whole situation. Obviously, it's Kane's brother who's doing this. So your
brother and your father are both terrorizing my family, my dude. Yeah. Please, you can use magic powers. I've seen you set people on fire. Can you like go doodle 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 and go to my house and stop your brother?
So as this is going on, Kane actually unmasked. I thought I was there the first time Kane unmasked, but no.
Oh, that's true. You.
Well, at this time, it is revealed to be Undertaker, actually. So it really wasn't Kane the whole time. And as you see in the thumbnail, I actually had to change the thumbnail from what I originally chose.
My joke didn't work anymore.
Yeah, because I all I do when the show doesn't have a memorable moment where it's like, oh, I know going in what the thumbnail is going to be for the show. Like next week, I know going in what I'm for next episode. I know going in what's going to be the thumbnail. Ever since we started doing these road twos, you come up a couple of weekly shows that may not have something too memorable. So it's like, I don't even know what the hell I'm going to do for the thumbnail. So you just put the date of the episode in as well as Raw, Raw March 15th, 99. And there was a picture that popped up where it was like Austin standing in the ring behind McMahon and Rock. And McMahon is kind of like, oh no, what's going on behind? Like he's kind of getting a little scared. Rock has no idea yet. But that never happened on this show. And I started to realize that late in the episode, like, shit, I got to change the thumbnail. So I changed the thumbnail, and then I replied to your comment saying, well, the comment you just left on me sharing the link to the stream makes no sense now. But yeah, Undertaker taking the mask off and revealing that he was Kane the whole time is the thumbnail for this episode.
So does that mean that was all pre-taped, or who's doing the handshake? Who's in charge of the ministry right now? Is it Paul Bearer? Oh dear God, no.
I would think the stuff at Mr. McMahon's house was pre-taped. Obviously, that's how they did that.
So the cops just they showed up. They didn't find any. Good thing
That's why they
Stephanie
didn't
and
find
Linda.
anything. It was all pre-taped.
See, now I like my thought that they were just Undertaker can teleport. So, but I also like the thought of like Undertaker dressed up as Kane, just going down and kicking Triple H's ass. This will teach you for messing with my baby brother. I'll see you at WrestleMania 17, bitch.
And so McMahon is standing in the ring. Oh, hold on. So Kane unmasks to reveal it's Undertaker. The lights go out when they return. The Undertaker's gone, and McMahon is standing in the ring with Undertaker's voiceover telling Mr. McMahon that he can be anywhere. He, being Undertaker, can be anywhere. After the commercial break, they go to commercial. Commercial comes back. Gerald and Briscoe, Patterson and Briscoe are arguing that everything will be all right. And what'd you think about that segment?
I love it when they do spooky, supernatural, evil Undertaker, where he's like, he just disappeared and he's already able to talk into the PA system and say, I can be anywhere. I'm at the concession stand getting popcorn. Now I'm on top of JR's table. What the fuck?
Well, remember the first time.
Now I'm the pack.
Well, remember the first time you ever picked an episode, right? Well, maybe not the first time. It was one of your first time. It was your first time watching the wrestling.
Yeah.
When you picked that episode. And the reason why you loved that episode so much was because of Undertaker was doing that type of stuff to Randy Orton.
Yes, but to be fair, he was dead. Right here, he's just very supernatural that he was able to do it so quickly.
And so now we get to the main event, a tag team match, and the end of our night as we're doing our second show of the night.
It's funny. You could actually watch this episode of Raw, and it would be shorter than what we've already done.
It would be because it's an hour 36 on Peacock without the commercials, and we're 2 hours in here. So Stone Cold Steve Austin and Mankind taking on The Rock and Paul White. This ends in a no contest after 11 minutes. I would absolutely say this was the match of the night. A very fun match, crowd going back and forth, being into it. So at the end of it, Austin puts Rock through the announce table as the show ends. And the show actually went off air very WCW-like, where the match was kind of going on and no bell rang or anything like that. They were still brawling as the show went off the air. And the only thing that was missing was Tony Schiavone saying, folks, we got to go. We'll see you next week. That's the only thing. So what were your thoughts out of 10? Rating out of 10 for this show?
8.
I would say I'd maybe give this a 9. I really enjoyed this show, especially because of the whole Ministry of Darkness fucking with the McMahon stuff. That was really good.
It would have gotten an 8 out of 5 if we had the continuation of the best storyline in professional wrestling, Droz versus Steve Blackman, but we didn't.
Well, that was a short little angle, and it did not need to continue beyond what
it's not main eventing WrestleMania?
No. Oh, speaking of Droz, there was actually a funny sign in the crowd for this show that said, I'm wearing Droz. I didn't actually get it at first. And then, I read it. I'm wearing draws is essentially what it means.
Oh, I thought they were trying to make fun of puke.
No. There was also a sign. There was also a sign that I will say I agree with, where somebody just randomly went to a Raw in 1999 and decided to profess their love for Jennifer Aniston. Somebody had a sign that said, I love Jennifer Aniston. So do I. I get
I'd be like having a sign. I love Buffy.
it.
Frank, is that you? No.
So we are just one Raw away from our WrestleMania 15 review. So we got the March 22nd Raw coming up next. Not next as in tonight. Well, this is our last. Don't expect to see us.
Oh dear God. Oh
Don't
dear
expect
God, no.
to see us anymore tonight. This is it for tonight. But we got the March 22nd, 1999 Raw, followed by the Rage Party watch along or reaction, whatever you want to call it. I guess we'll call it a reaction because we're actually going to show the footage on there. Hopefully, we will get around the audio. We don't the audio of the performances, the musical performances. We'll make sure to keep that out. But as for the rest of that show, we will show it and we will react to it. And then we will get to WrestleMania 15. After we do WrestleMania 15, we will go with Tro's pick of the Road to Unforgiven 2001. And then at the end of Unforgiven, our Unforgiven 2001 review, the show itself, it's most likely looking like I will be the one to pick the next show. So I will pick after that, right at the end of that show. I said it a long time ago because we piled up a lot of how you say it, road twos. So I said we're not picking any more shows until Unforgiven 01. At one point, I said that like it feels like 3 months ago. I said that, but so once we get to Unforgiven 01, I will make my decision as to what we're doing. Do you have breaking news or something?
No, I just looked at the Heat results.
Oh, you went.
It was actually pretty interesting.
I was hoping.
Well, I'm seeing the dark match. I'm seeing the dark match for Heat. It's pretty crazy.
What is it for this show? For this Raw?
For this for Sunday Night Heat, March 14th, 1999. The dark match, believe it or not, was Mankind and Steve Austin defeated Kane and The Rock.
Ah. Ooh, I actually have some small breaking news. The Mets actually met with Sasuke. I don't know if I'm saying that correctly, but you know I'm talking about the pitcher. They met with him this afternoon. So some big news there. Hopefully that will lead to a signing. But that's a great. Yes, both of them. I want both of them. That is an interesting dark match. Absolutely.
Weird too, because would it open the first dark match?
I guess.
Weird to have Austin and Mankind and The Rock wrestle twice in one night.
Mostly those type of dark matches end the show, like end the actual crowd. Like I went to
my
show.
Question.
Well, go ahead.
Now my question is, was that Kane or Undertaker Kane?
Very good question. Very good question.
Because how long was Undertaker Kane? Did he have to use a fake voice box the whole night? Hey, Kane, you know who really sucks? The Undertaker. Fuck you. How dare you? I mean, yeah, that dude sucks.
I went to a SmackDown. I went to a SmackDown ECW taping in April of 2009. The air date for the SmackDown would be May 1st, 2009. And the actual last match that we got to see, the ticket buyers, not the television audience, we got to see a dark match of John Cena teaming with Batista to take on, I believe, Edge and Orton. So that's one of those, wow, that's a dark match, but that ended the show. That wasn't like a pre-show dark match. Pre-show dark matches are mostly the tryout matches.
Yeah.
So that's pretty weird.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
But I wonder, I imagine Paul Bearer's not in that Undertaker's dressed up as Kane. He calls Kane up. I think your brother's fucking weird. He's really into this. He's really doing weird shit. Paul, fuck you. Fuck you, Dad. I don't want anything to do with you anymore.
Yeah. So
Buffy sucks.
all right, so WrestleMania 15 is coming up. But first, obviously, we have the March 22nd 99 Raw, the Rage Party reaction video, and then Unforgiven 01, Road to Unforgiven 01. And obviously, for the Islander fans out there, in January, we will do the December recap for the season, for the month.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Do you want to do anything Christmassy before Christmas?
Like what?
I don't know. Can you think of any good Christmas specials that we can like? Do you remember any Christmas specials that you can just like we can just chat about? Stream nostalgically.
The first
We kind of grew up like in the adjacent to each other enough.
Yeah. The first tribute to the troops was on Christmas in 03.
That was good. That was good. I think JBL dressed up in like tinfoil.
Yeah, no, that was 04. That was the second one.
Oh, that was the second one.
Yeah. Because JBL was a baby face at this point. He wasn't even JBL yet.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. He was Bradshaw.
Yeah.
Yeah. They want to be.
Okay, well,
that would be the perfect actually prelude to Unforgiven 01. Oh, tribute to the troops 03, and then we go right into the build to Unforgiven. Oh boy. Like thank you for watching Tribute to the Troops. Here's why they were in Afghanistan.
Yeah.
Oh boy, that'd be crazy.
Okay, so we're gonna end this here.
Yep.
Because I gotta go anyway. Thank you to anybody who's watched. If you enjoyed the show, please subscribe and just be on the lookout for WrestleMania 15. We're gonna review that real soon.
Yep.
And, we will see you with the March 20th.